Ekiri mu Paalamenti ya Uganda omuliro gwaka anti Sipiika Anita Amongi Anet Nnaalongo avudde mu mbeera atabuse olw'ettemu eryakoleddwa ku jjajja Lubowa Bosa abakoze ettemu eryo abuuza lwaki kamera za poliisi teziriiko ate nga baateekamu omusimbi munene nnyo okuteekayo kamera ezo. Kati ayagala ansa eddibwemu abakulu abakulira eggwanga lino lwaki kamera zibeera nga teziriiko ate nga zaateekwamu omusimbi muyitirivu, ye lwaki emmundu zikozesebwa okutta abantu nga waliwo abavunaanyizibwa ku mmundu zino. Emmundu zituuka zitya mu mikono gy'abatemu. Abatemula abantu be baani? Bali mu gavumenti, waliwo akabinja wakatendeke nga kutta abantu. Abalero nno alidde obuwuka ate ogutuuse ku ky'okuba nti abasirikale ba poliisi n'amagye balemesezza Jolo Ssenyonyi okugenda e Lubowa wali okukebera ku ddwaliro eriteekwamu omusimbi omuyitirivu ogumiwa omusolo ne gujabagira. Ono akubye emmeeza n'agamba kano kafuuse kamanyiiro, tagenda kubikkiriza nti no Paalamenti kye kimu ekikono kya gavumenti ekitoola ensimbi okukola emirimu gya gavumenti, nga ate Paalamenti etoola ensimbi tekkirizibwa kulondoola nsimbi zeewaayo. Obwo bubeera bufuuse bunyazi, bubeera bufuuse bubbi, baani abali mu kubba ensimbi z'omuwi w'omusolo. Olwaleero Sipiika azze munyiivu bulala, akakutwale mu Paalamenti olabe obukambwe bw'alina era bw'akozesa ng'ayagala Uganda edde ku sanite.
Honourable members, as part of accountability for the monies that we give out to institutions that get money from government, and as per Article 164 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, 1995, it's just prudent enough that for us we must do our oversight role as Parliament and ensure that we make a follow-up on how much money has been given to an institution, how much money has been used, is there value for money. And based on that, yesterday, the leader of opposition led a team to one of the institutions that we are giving money, that is Lubowa Hospital. To my surprise, I am told, which I'm here to confirm, I am told the team was denied access to see what is happening, where our money has gone. And I think that is really very unfortunate, because we are doing what we are mandated to do as per the Constitution. We are doing our oversight role. So I think as government, you need to guide us. Should we just sit here, appropriate money, we don't see what is being done, and we call it a day? Remember, this is taxpayers' money that we must account for. Yesterday also I received a petition from the tea growers. The petition that I received from the tea growers, and these tea growers, promoters and processors were from Toro region, and they were led by the district chairperson of Toro, that is Honourable Richard, who is also the chairperson of Hulga. And in this petition, they're looking at the challenges that is faced by the tea sector, where the farmers have started cutting off trees because of no market, no quality control, no herbicides for the tea. There is no legal framework for these tea growers. There is no policy in place. Unlike UCDA, that is coffee, cotton, which has, but this one does not have. So these people want a remedy from Parliament, and it's only this Parliament that can give a remedy to that effect. And I want to pursue the leader of Toro to present this petition to Parliament as per Rule 30 3 of the Rules of Procedure. Honorable members, on rather a sad note, on Sunday we received with a deep sorrow the news of the murder by shooting of the head of the Ndiga clan of Uganda, that is Engineer Daniel Bossa Boma. I want to call upon the relevant security agencies to thoroughly investigate the cause of this incident. And in addition, we need to ensure that police make sure that all the CCTV cameras that have been installed around are operational. We may be just looking at their CCTV cameras when they are not working. We want to urge these people to ensure that the CCTV cameras are all working so that we can be able to follow it up and see where was this incident and where did it start from, where did they start following him from. And I want to plead with the Ugandans who can be able to afford CCTV cameras equally to put cameras around their homes, but government should also come with an incentive by reducing the cost of the CCTV cameras so that everybody should be able to have the CCTV cameras. I want to thank you for coming. We are going to look at rationalization. We are going to look at rationalization. We'll look at the bills, but there are some issues that we need to be clarified. There are 2 clarifications that we need on the rationalization. The 2 issues that we need to be clarified is 1, on the issue of certificate of financial implication. That's 1, and that should come from the Minister of Finance. 2, we'll need a clarification on the titling of these bills, and that should be done by Attorney General. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I can see in the House the quorum is not enough because we are now few in the House. How shall we be able to handle the bills when there are not many members even from the opposition side in the House?
Honorable members, the members are coming. Don't worry about quorum. The members are coming. And whoever is trying to demobilize and say we should not have quorum is wasting his or her time. The quorum will be there and will rationalize. Gabriel?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity emanating from your communication. Right Honorable Speaker, I would like to send our condolences from the people of Okoro constituency to the family of the leader of the Ndiga clan. It is very regrettable, and the people of Uganda should not take the law in their own hands. We should actually detest generally the murder of our citizens in cold blood. Secondly, Right Honorable Speaker, in your communication, you mentioned that the leader of opposition visited Lubowa Hospital. It is in the interest of Ugandans that the hospital should be completed and should be able to serve Ugandans. And government should know that parliament is an arm of government, and together we shall make our country be successful and achieve its objectives. In the same note, we come from West Nile. Recently, they were working on Karuma Dam, which crosses to West Nile and northern Uganda. However, the alternative route is in Bulisa and passing through the Massician Falls. Right, Honorable Speaker, when we pass the road which is made by the government of Uganda as members of parliament, when we go to our constituencies, we go to do our oversight roles. Right, Honorable Speaker, this thing has been mentioned in this floor of parliament. However, I would like to ask your indulgence that as we keep on crossing, at least as members of parliament, our government should allow us to cross that road without paying. We cross weekend in and out, and it takes some big amount of money from us. Would like to ask through your big office to really have mercy on us, especially the MPs who come from West Nile, and you pronounce yourself on this matter. Thank you very much for the opportunity, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, you don't want to pay as only members of parliament or members of the public. No. Is it members of parliament you're protecting or members of the public?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
By the way, there is an alternative route. You must know that there is an alternative route. But what I am asking, you don't want to pay as a member of parliament, or you are pleading for the public, the people you represent?
Madam Speaker, there are two scenarios here. First of all, we have had instances when our roads are blocked, where you cannot use the Karuma Road because of overflooding. Now, those vehicles, even in such an emergency, are asked to pay when they are using the alternative route which is there. Secondly, Right Honorable Speaker, in this particular matter, I wanted to address the members of parliament, because if we move even across the park, we are doing our oversight role, and it would be procedurally right that you pronounce yourself on this.
Honorable members, let's be mindful of the public, not for our own selves. It's about the people that we represent, and we should be legislating for the people that we represent, the people who sent us to this house. On the issue of the murders, Ugandans really need to be tolerant. Let's accept to live with each other, irrespective of whatever problems that could be there. Killing is not a solution. And to the people of Buganda, the people of Ondiga clan, and the chairperson of Buganda Parliamentary Caucus, and generally people of Uganda. As Parliament of Uganda, we bring in our condolence on the loss of the clan leader. Please accept our condolence, and we are with you in this trying time. Yes, Solomon?
Yeah, thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, and I want to thank you for your communication. My area of interest and what I wanted to raise, Right Honorable Speaker, on your communication is the issue of cameras. Right Honorable Speaker, government committed itself to Parliament that they are going to implement and put cameras everywhere. And I remember in the last Parliament, it was supposed to be done in phases. So the question I wanted to ask the Prime Minister is, when is the last phase being done? Because there are still very critical areas that do not have cameras up to date. And yet we agreed here in Parliament that all areas would be covered, but in phases, because the budget was inadequate at that time. So when are we concluding this whole process to have all the critical areas and roads with the cameras in the country?
First of all, as I said before, we need to find out whether all the cameras are working. And then we now go on to a rollover for the next. Prime Minister.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want also to add on my voice to condole with the people of Ndiga clan for the loss of our brother. We pray that may his soul rest in eternal peace. All that is said on behalf of the government of the Republic of Uganda and the office of the Prime Minister. We are sorry for what happened, but I know the culprits, since we have some, even the rest will be got. Right Honorable, about the issues of, on the issue of cameras, I'm going to call the Minister of ICT and National Guidance to give us a brief
Internal
on how,
affairs.
sorry, internal affairs, together with ICT. Okay, internal affairs. He will come and give us a brief on how far, how much area has been covered and what is remaining. Thank you.
Thank you. Workers, Emmanuel. You will all speak.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for your communication. I'm concerned about the oversight responsibility. It looks like it is slipping out of our hands. And so we need to demand once again and let the other organs know that we are still the members of parliament and it's our responsibility. It was so heartening, Right Honorable Speaker, when I witnessed they are sealing it off and nobody should go there because it's a ghost. We don't know what is happening, because if there was some work going on, then there is nothing to fear. But also coming when they are armed and our members of parliament are not armed, it is threatening, because one of these days we might hear that someone has been shot at, a member of parliament. So something must be done, Right Honorable Speaker, to make sure that we are safe and to know that some of our responsibilities are slipping out of our hands. And me, I'm looking at you, Speaker, and I thank you that you are able to point it out. Thank you.
I want to find out from the Attorney General, is oversight still part of the role of Parliament? Or it was scrapped off?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, the last time I checked, it was still on the statute book. And the only way it can be removed is through this House. I've been here often lately, and I have not seen any such amendment. So the oversight role of Parliament still exists. Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. We may have to repeat about this Lubowa incidents, because it's not the first time that Parliament is going there and they are denied. I remember some time back, even the Committee of Health went and they were denied. The question that we should ask ourselves, the question that government should answer is this facility there? Is it being constructed? Let them answer and say no or yes. And if we have to forget about it, forget about it. Maybe with some other words. Otherwise, Right Honorable Speaker, as the people of Jonam, we also condone with the Ndiga clan for the murder of their head. And what pains me is that in this country, we value human beings less. In other countries, one death alone can cause a lot of problems and issues. But here, people die, and 1-2 days, everybody has forgotten. Nobody cares what happens. And for instance, it's not in your communication, but look at the death which happened on the road, on Ginger Road. It's so painful. That accident, I know they are saying one person died and many injured, but from the pictures, you could see that probably more people died. So let's value life as much as possible. Even when we are talking about Lubowa, we are still talking about the value of life. So when members of parliament are denied, then somebody needs to answer. And for me, I want to repeat, the answer that I want to hear is that this facility is there or it is not there. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable members, as you've heard from Attorney General, that from the last time he was here, no amendment has taken place on the Constitution. Our role is to do oversight. Can we find out from government why we are not being allowed to do our role in a facility where Parliament has put money, and remember that money is taxpayers' money?
Right Honorable, it is sad that, yes, that members of Parliament were denied to enter Lubowa. I'm going to look into that matter with the Minister of Health, because these the members had a letter from the Minister of Health. So we are going to look into the matter so that members should access that area. Thank you.
Honorable members, when you look at Article 164 on accountability, 164.3, Parliament shall monitor all expenditure of public funds. Shall, it is a shall, not a may. And we are saying, we are not asking for too much. We are actually helping you. And when you look at a letter from the Minister of Health, the minister just tells the leader of opposition, good luck. I wish you good luck. What does that mean? Alan?
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity.
To all of you.
Right Honorable Speaker, my concern goes to the death of Engineer Daniel Bossa, the leader of Ndiga clan. Right Honorable Speaker, you have guided that the responsible department should do thorough investigation, and I concur with you. But Right Honorable Speaker, the ministers responsible should also come this parliament and give us update, because we have been having various killings of Jaja Uchuli, the minister, but we have never got any update. I think it would be procedure, right? The minister responsible, specifically Minister for Security, Minister for Internal Affairs, comes before this parliament, and at least we get an update on that line.
Can we have a report on the killings? Because you have even been investigating. Nobody has ever reported about Jaja Ichuli. Nobody has reported about who again was shot. A number of them. Huh? We want a report on the floor.
And lastly,
just as Engineer Daniel has been shot is the same way any of us can be shot. Yes. He has not finished.
Madam Speaker, lastly about Lubowa, I suggest that at least you appoint a select committee, or you assign it special powers, so that we can investigate this matter, because it has been since 2018. Parliament is pumping a lot of money that facility. Yesterday we were there.
I am going to assign my deputy speaker to go to Lubowa with the team on Wednesday. On Wednesday, the deputy speaker should go to Lubowa and they will give us a report.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable
Thank you very much, Right Honorable
Ibrahim.
Speaker. The reason I was raising on a point of procedure earlier, during the consideration of the budget framework paper, I did ask the chairperson of our committee on health why he was not reporting on war. And the Honorable Ayume told the budget committee that Lubowa has since then been moved to the office of the Prime Minister. It is no longer in health. He said it. If there are other members of the budget committee can bear me witness here. I am now shocked, Madam Speaker, that the Prime Minister now says I'm going to consult the Minister of Health. Maybe she meant another person, because the Honorable Ayume said that in our committee. And if you read the report of the committee on health, there is nothing about Lubowa. But of interest to this Parliament, Madam Speaker, if you read the report of the Auditor General reports that while government is supposed to have an engineer, a resident engineer, that angel called Pinetti has since then chased the resident engineer. Her resident engineer is the one submitting requisitions to finance to pay. And the Auditor General says that actually they have paid money for even no work that has been certified by over 70 million US dollars. That's the report of the Auditor General. I feel sad. The Honorable Bahat was here putting the whole Parliament at gunpoint. We must approve this promissory note immediately.
Where was the gun? No. Let it be off record that there was no gun on the floor. Because nobody is allowed to carry a gun.
But of interest to this parliament, Madam Speaker, if you read the report of the Auditor General reports that while government is supposed to have an engineer, a resident engineer, that angel called Pinetti has since then chased the resident engineer. Her resident engineer is the one submitting requisitions to finance to pay. And the Auditor General says that actually that they have paid money for even no work that has been certified by over $70 million US. That's the report of the Auditor General. I feel sad. The Honorable Bahati was here putting the whole parliament at gunpoint. We must approve this promissory note immediately.
Where was the gun? No. Let it be off record that there was no gun on the floor. Because nobody is allowed to carry a gun.
Honourable members, Madam Speaker.
Then being moved to the office of the Prime Minister. It is no longer in health. He said it. If there are other members of the Budget Committee can bear me witness here. I am now shocked, Madam Speaker, that the Prime Minister now says I'm going to consult the Minister of Health. Maybe she meant another person, because the Honorable Ibe said that in our committee. And if you read the report of the Committee on Health, there is nothing about Lubowa. But of interest to this Parliament, Madam Speaker, if you read the report of the Auditor General reports that while government is supposed to have an engineer, a resident engineer, that angel called Pinetti has since then chased the resident engineer. Her resident engineer is the one submitting requisitions to finance to pay. And the Auditor General says that actually that they have paid money for even no work that has been certified by over $70 million US. That's the report of the Auditor General. I feel sad. The Honorable Bahati was here putting the whole Parliament at gunpoint. We must approve this promissory note immediately.
Where was the gun? No. Let it be off record that there was no gun on the floor. Because nobody is allowed to carry a gun.
Madam Speaker, you will forgive
Let's
me.
change the language. Let's change the language. It was either spitting fire or whichever, but there was no gun that Honorable
Madam
Bahati
Speaker,
had.
forgive my language. I am a journalist. So that's. But if he doesn't, if people don't pick it immediately, I withdraw.
Okay.
So, but the point I made was that the Honorable Bahati, who was that time representing finance here all the time, he said we must approve this loan request today immediately, or else you are going to begin paying fines. And that project was supposed to have been constructed under 48 months. It is now 5 years. I think maybe there should be a time when these people are being matched to zero. Like it happened when Amin was removed. Like, but his warrant in Zira should find him at the gate. Because how do you continue sitting here? You told the parliament, if we did not pass this, we are going to begin paying fines. How comes the one violating the contract
There
is
is
not
an
paying fine?
order.
Madam Speaker, Honorable Ssenyonyi was here when we were approving this project. All of us looked at the objectives of this project. The objectives was to have a specialized hospital in Uganda to stop medical tourism. All of us approved this and we were here. So to let you know, Honorable Ssenyonyi, that when a house takes a decision, you are bound by it. Yes, and if you don't approve it, then you know the rules. So is it in order? Now the House is doing an oversight law, and you have appointed the Deputy Speaker to go there and see. Is it in order really to put a situation that I'm responsible for what is happening in Lubowa, when we have a whole Ministry of Health supervising this project?
Honorable members, the responsibility is collective to the House. It's not a personal responsibility, it's a collective responsibility. But then there's something that we need to clarify. Where they said it is ceased to be in health, it went to Prime Minister's office. Is that true?
Right, Honorable Speaker, as far as I'm concerned, Ministry of Health, hospitals belong to Ministry of Health. I don't know when and where that guideline was maybe passed that Lubowa Hospital.
Honorable Prime Minister, Lubowa is not a hospital. It's a construction site. It's a project for a hospital.
That's a project for the hospital.
It is not yet a hospital. Anyway, we don't know whether it is finished or whichever, because nobody can access. We don't know. So you need to clarify. You need to guide us.
Yeah, right, Honorable Speaker. It is what I was trying to say, that I've never heard of that project being taken by Office of the Prime Minister. As far as I know, it is being supervised by Ministry of Health. And that's why the opposition leader, Honorable, yes, he went to the Minister of Health and is the one who gave him that letter. Thank you, Right Honorable
Speaker, let me conclude my submission on this matter.
You mean you are not finished?
Yes. The chairperson of the Committee on Health is a member of this parliament. He can actually be asked, because that's what he said in the Budget Committee. And finally, Madam Speaker, on your communication about the death of the Ndiga clan leader, I saw initially part of the security blaming the borders who chased the suspects and killed some of them. But for me, my issue, and I think colleagues who are responsible for security should help us understand. How can someone be shot and for 3 kilometers or even more, it is 1 inch chasing the suspects and there is no police? There is no ISO, there is nobody in the middle, in the city, Kampala. The murder happens and 1 inch are the one who's chasing and doing broad daylight because he was shot before 6. But it's 1 inch chasing the suspects. And because of their anger and lack of training, they did what they did. So can we be told, where is security? If a murder in a capital city can happen, and for 3 kilometers, there are no soldiers, there are no policemen, yet when the leader of opposition reports at Lubowa, every minute there is another clan of security people that are reporting, military, police, prison, everywhere, SFC. So why are they not there when people are vulnerable and helpless? But they rush very quickly where the leader of opposition is inspecting, is doing his oversight work.
But we also want to thank the civilians for being vigilant. All of us should be vigilant. What those people did by chasing these people for 5 kilometers, they did a very good job. Dr. Bed. Yes, there is a procedural matter from PP. Honorable Mbwa, I've seen you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we have lamented a lot on the issue of gun violence in this country. And we don't have any more time to continue lamenting. Madam Speaker, I want to move that we have a substantive motion in this parliament to debate and discuss and resolve on the issue of gun violence. Because you see, receiving these reports and investigation which never come, and we will continue, experiencing more death through gun violence. So I would like to know whether if it is not procedurally right for us to have a substantive motion put in this house and debated, and then we see how we can resolve and sort out this issue of gun violence once and for all. That's a procedural matter I want to raise, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable Member, that is not a procedural matter. Put the House on notice. As per Rule 56, put the House on notice. You're a member of this House. It is not a procedural matter. Eh?
Madam Speaker, I am more than willing to bring that motion in this House.
Okay.
So that we discuss this issue of gun violence once and for all.
Right Honorable Speaker, on behalf of members of Parliament from Uganda, we pay our condolences. We have lost so many in this country. And Right Honorable Speaker, for quite some time I was the Shadow Minister for Internal Affairs. And I try to follow the matters in this country. Even when we are going to move a motion, after the death, I think of Mr. Kawesi, the president of Uganda, came to this parliament and addressed a session of parliament and outlined 10 solid 10 measures that were to be taken. At the end of it all, he pledged that murders will be no more. I can't remember how many motions have been moved in this parliament on murders, but they have continued. Even where we are praising the public for pursuit, Right Honorable Speaker, we need to further investigate that, because one, a possibility of cover up in that pursuit when you are going to capture the assailants, so that that case dies at that point, can also be executed in mob justice and complicates matters of investigation. But Right Honorable Speaker, no single case has been brought exhaustively. Even the one of Kagezi, It is only recently that we are seeing actual people being brought to book. So we are losing so many people, Right Honorable Speaker, that we may now reach a level where we demand that the President of Uganda comes back. We request, implore him to come back to Parliament to account for the 10 measures that were undertaken. And why, after the implement, and we have allocated billions of money in cameras, billions of money in classified expenditure, billions of money, yet our people continue to die. Right Honorable Speaker, on matters Lubowa. Right Honorable Speaker, as the chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee, looked at Lubowa, and I've already issued some witnesses from Minister of Finance to appear before the committee, but the small matters also to sort out. You are also aware that the Auditor General did a special investigation on Lubowa. The committee, while handing over the Auditor General's report, he said it was complete.
Did they allow them in?
What?
Were they allowed in? Auditor General.
The Auditor General, in his report, they were allowed in, and they did a thorough investigation. All we are also asking is that the Auditor General produces that report to you, so that while we are considering this matter, while we are considering this matter, we can also look at the special report of the Auditor General that he has carried out on Lubowa. The details, if I pass them out that I've read, I will bias the investigation that the matter before me. But of interest, we immediately demand that special report. The Auditor General is denying that it's not yet ready, it's not yet final. While presenting the Auditor General's report, he said it was ready. We need it to complete this process.
Okay, Clerk, can you make a follow-up with the Auditor General's office? We need a report for us to know what is happening. Betty? Betty Semakula, Dr. Bed, Goretti.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. On behalf of Acholi and on my own behalf, we want to condole with the Bagandas on the brutal death of a leader and an engineer. I would like to say that I condemn this brutal death, condemn it properly, and we need to do a lot more so that this stops. I want to comment on the stopping of people from entering Lubowa. Even the minister herself in the 10th parliament was stopped. I think I'm not lying. The Minister of Health was stopped from going to do her oversight role in Lubowa. This Lubowa is something that is beating most of us. So how I wish the president himself should answer to this, because it looks like it's defeated even the person who acts on behalf of the president. That is the Minister of Health. That is why she said, I wish you well. Right Honorable Speaker, it is not only Lubowa that, especially us in the opposition, face a lot of challenges. Parliament spends some money, resources from Parliament, and then you go to do your oversight role and you are stopped. I remember we were stopped, and we were 12 members of Parliament stopped when we went to do our oversight role in a power. Completely by guns. If members of Parliament can be stopped by guns, then how about the Wananchi? I wish one time the Wananchi could get up and rise against the power of guns. hands. Because power belongs to the people. So they must stop killing people. Thank you.
Betty, former law, don't ask it. Don't incite violence, please. Because at the end of the day, you're going to lose these people and you'll have lost your own people. You cannot tell members to go and just do that. No, that should not happen.
Madam Speaker, I withdraw.
Thank you, thank you.
I withdraw, but
Thank
I
you.
want to just say, allow us also to do our oversight role.
Yes, that
Whenever
one
we
is a
want to.
constitutional mandate. Yes, Semakula.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, you had given cameras as one of the measures to curb insecurity. As Parliament, when we debate, we should try at times to give solutions. Don't you think it is high time as Parliament to look into taxes which are imposed on cameras, that there comes a time when cameras are not taxed, such that they can
and
be...
I said it. I said it.
Right Honorable Speaker, in the same vein, there are several police posts which are removed of recently from different areas of the country. Isn't it high time that the Minister of Internal Affairs, General Kahindo Tafire, restores such police posts in different areas of the country, such that they can also help in curbing of the insecurity? Right Honorable Speaker, there is also another security we should discuss as Parliament. It is raining outside. There is what we call food security. I would wish, Right Honorable Speaker, since it has started raining, to know whether members are going to access seeds this time, such that if we are not budgeted for, that we can find ways how we can get money to purchase seeds, such that we can also look into food security. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Right Honorable Speaker, on the Lubowa, I want to implore you.
They have not allowed you first to wait for the ruling of the Speaker.
When did you take over to be the Speaker of Parliament? Right Honorable Speaker, I didn't know that you have given your powers to Mr. Honorable Tamaguzi is ruling on your behalf.
Honorable members, Honorable Tamaguzi was talking about food security. I don't see a Minister of Agriculture here, but I see the Prime Minister. Prime Minister, the issues of food security. And just like the other day, I had said before you merge nuts, can we have our seeds? Can we first have a response?
Right Honorable Speaker, the Minister of Agriculture is coming on the date you will give him to come and give us a brief on the seeds and food security. Thank you.
Can I have a response on that today? All of you ministers are supposed to be in the house.
Much obliged.
Yes.
Right Honorable Speaker, you see this country has big issues. As we are speaking about seeds, in the countryside where we are, this year for some good reason, we got so much rain, and we have a bump harvest of maize. But the price of maize in this country has gone to levels where it's going to discourage more people to grow maize. The kilo is now going for 400, and there's a lot of harvest in the countryside. Under PDM, he said people grow maize. They've grown maize, government can't even ensure that people buy maize. We want to know across the country what government is doing with the bump harvest of maize, and where farmers are losing crucial sums of money, which they borrowed, and they cannot pay back because they invested in maize.
Right Honorable Speaker, like you have ruled before, the Minister for Agriculture.
No, that is a trade.
No. She's talking about the bumper harvest of maize.
Yes. Who does the marketing? Who does the selling? It is a trade.
Let me call the Minister for Trade to come and talk about that.
Madam Speaker, there are two things that we are trying to do to save the situation for now and for the future. The first one is to look for external markets of the products that we produce. The second one is to find alternative use of the products that we produce, setting up factories, for example,
Honorable members, let's first hear from the minister, then you
for
give.
example, setting up factories for animal feeds using the products that we produce. I want to inform this House that it's not possible to have government subsidy at the moment. And coming in to control prices means government subsidy. And we should be clear to our people that we are not going to have subsidies for these products at the moment.
Honorable members, honorable minister, you mean there is no way government can help people on selling their products? Maize at 400, 300 a kilo?
Yeah. Madam Speaker, we are looking at alternative markets to sell our products. But the idea of coming in to control prices, to put more money to control prices is not possible at the moment.
Honorable Minister, for you to control the prices does not really need subsidies. You need a buffer system where the people can be able to store and have this sold at a later time. It's basically that.
So, Speaker.
Honorable members, can I have some silence? Can I have silence? I need a feedback from the minister.
Madam Speaker, when you stock, if I'm a farmer and government says I'm going to store your produce, I will need to be paid. And to be paid means government has got to put in money. And that's what we mean by subsidy. And it's not possible.
Information.
At the moment.
So, Madam Speaker, the answer.
Honorable members, there is a very big problem.
Yes.
There is a very big problem. Honorable Minister, come back to this House tomorrow and tell us what plans you have. Tell us the plans you have to save the farmers out there with their products, with their crops, which they cannot sell because of the pricing.
Right, Honorable Speaker, you had given me the opportunity to speak. The answer to fluctuating prices for agricultural products is contract farming law. That law, we did our work, the bill, we did our work. The only way to secure a farmer is to ensure that before they go farming, they have already secured the price. Right now, we are selling our maize to Tanzania at a cheaper price. After 3 months, we are going to buy it back at a very high price. And the government cannot do anything. So, Right Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Speaker, I want to implore you that this bill finds space on the order paper so that we can help the farmers in this country.
Tomorrow we'll have it. We'll have a report from agriculture, from trade. Dan.
Thank you, Retro Speaker.
Honorable members, you're all still on communication.
Right, Honorable Speaker, and honorable colleagues,
on that specific issue, Right Honourable Speaker, I wish it would also encompass the issue of milk prices, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, we have raised this issue 1,001 times, and no one seemed to understand us. I can see now it is biting far and wide, and we are coming up with one voice. I therefore beg, Right Honourable Speaker, that when we are finding solutions, let's not do it piecemeal. Let's look comprehensively at the farming challenges of this country. Farmers sell milk, a liter of milk at 300, Right Honourable Speaker.
200,
Even 200.
Yes.
And for the last 10 years, Right Honourable Speaker, and honourable colleagues, as I wind up.
Honourable members, can you listen?
Honourable colleagues.
Mbwa.
Honourable colleagues, a liter of milk.
Mbwa, whom do you want to buy it? You sit. You sit. You sit.
Honourable colleagues, a liter of milk is 200-300.
Yes.
And
yes, it's true.
And on the market, when the manufacturer has done only boiling and packing, they sell it at 3,000. And the government doesn't come with a solution to that effect. So, Right Honourable colleagues, I beg that if we are handling issue of prices, let's handle it comprehensively. Thank you very much, Right Honourable.
Thank you. Honourable members, I want to hear from I had given Goretti. Then Mbwa. You know why members are laughing? Honorable Kimoshe, why members are laughing? They are saying, unlike dairy, which has free grass, that they can go and graze is different from
Thank you, Right Honourable.
Yes, correct.
Right Honourable Speaker, when it comes to issues of prices of agricultural products, we need to be very careful because 70% of the informal sector is in agriculture. And we must
Honourable
be
members, let's not talk about agriculture.
Right,
we are going to have
Speaker.
a report tomorrow and we discuss it. Let's have a report
Noted,
tomorrow.
Right Honourable Speaker. Now, Right Honourable Speaker, there is a very big elephant in this house, in addition to Lubowa. I want this house to take interest in the money that is borrowed and is not utilized, the so-called undisbursed loans. The 14.9 trillion that accrues interest and other related funds, Right Honourable Speaker. As you pick interest in Lubowa, kindly pick interest in loans that we borrow and money is not utilized. Thanks so much, Right Honourable Speaker.
Even the money for Kampala Ginger Express Highway was borrowed and it has never been used since 2020. Nothing has happened since that time. Leader of opposition, Mbwa, then Mbwa.
I'm humbled, Madam Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker and honourable members, the issue of Lubowa, I'm so happy that my Honourable Minister was denied access some time back. What was she going to see? Actually, she was helped. Her time was saved, not to waste time. I remember in 10th Parliament when we were here, she was the one with Honourable Bahati, this one, agitating and said, please give us money, the hospital will work, and we refused completely. I wish to thank, yes, hello? No. All right, Honourable Speaker. I'm already informed about the affairs of Lubowa.
There's an order. There's an order.
Madam Speaker, I was in this house when the matter came. The Minister of Health, in the alternative presented to this house, a report and a separate request of amount of 1.3 trillion shillings and pleaded with this house that instead of giving this amount of money, 1.4, to Lubowa, you can give it to the Minister of Health so that the whole country can be done. That record was put and the report was the report was brought to this house. So is the Honorable Mbwa in order to come and misrepresent the facts as it was presented to this house then, to the extent that the Minister of Health was the one who did that.
And it is not the Minister of Health that approved, it is the House that approved. It is a collective responsibility. It was, the mistake was by the House. And Honorable Mbwa was part of the House.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. I concede, but much as we refused, even including the Committee of Health, if you still recall, led by Dr. Bukenya. No, we were also one time stopped from accessing, doing our work. But Right Honorable Speaker, the matter I'm bringing about the person who is having that project, Madam Pinetti. I'm wondering, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members.
No. Right Honorable Speaker, I have a point.
A minute.
The same person has been allocated to deal with tea.
Which tea?
Yes, recently the Prime Minister called a meeting, and among the latter, Pinetti was also part of the team. So, Right Honorable Speaker, how is Pinetti in this country?
You're shouting.
Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable, you're shouting.
Okay,
Speak
okay,
slowly.
okay.
Calm down.
Okay, thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker.
No, you calm down. You get it, eh?
I'm calm now.
I give it. We can give you some water. First, give him some water. Honorable Mbwa. Honorable Mbwa. So you can speak slowly.
Okay, thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, in your communication, you also mentioned about people who brought petition in regards to the tea. And Right Honorable Speaker, why I'm so much concerned is that we've been complaining about tea prices. The last week when, yeah, I need to take it, otherwise I might even bite some of people here. So, Right Honorable Speaker, we've been talking about tea.
Honorable
the
Mbwa,
prices have dropped
Honorable
completely.
Mbwa,
Yes.
Honorable Mbwa, I have a petition in my office. The best you can do, come and pick that petition and you come and present it to the House as per Rule 30. You be the one to present it in the House.
Most obliged.
And the earlier you do it, the better. And yes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable members, I told you that I needed 2 clarifications. And I was buying time to have my good house. Since for them they come earlier than me, I wanted them to come. I need 2 clarifications. A clarification from the Minister of Finance on certificates of financial implication, and then a clarification from the Attorney General on the titling of the laws. But before we do that, I will hear from Kalungunga. You've given yourself. Okay.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I was giving a right that the minister brings the statement about maize, that we want to know why the price of maize brand is twice higher than the kilo of maize. We need to know that. Secondly, Madam Speaker, with the issue of this rampant killing, we need to find out why are we having a lot of guns in the public. We need to find that out. For example, these people who killed the Omkruwechka, the head of the clan of Wundiga, these are people who are civilians. The system of people having guns irregularly, Madam Speaker, is growing day by day. Lastly, Madam Speaker, in this house of ours, we have ministers who are ex-officials who don't have constituencies, but some of them are very irregular. Yeah. For example, there are a number of issues raised in Parliament concerning the president, and these issues must be responded to by the Minister for Presidency. But this is one of the members who are very irregular here, but is always seen in public gallery, in rallies, and elsewhere. The appointment of a minister to be minister for presidency is because he comes here to represent the president, and in matters incidental to the president, she has powers to respond to our issues here other than anybody, not even giving a speaker grace. Lastly, Madam Speaker, why? We are here. We are now 2 years back without having a substantive government of Bank of Uganda. And they have taken us to court, saying that the money we are using in this country is irregular. Because you cannot deputize someone who is not around. How do you deputize someone who is not around? So Atingo, the deputy governor of the Bank of Uganda, is using his name to sign on money as deputy governor without a substantive governor. And the Attorney General, that is yours, and the Minister for Presidency. What are you doing? Don't you have educated people to run that office? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Prime Minister, on your missing ministers.
Right, Honorable Speaker, the government chief whip came up, made a rota for ministers' attendance in Parliament. So, Minister for Presidency is not here. I think it's because of the rota for today.
Government Chief Whip. Government Chief Whip.
Right, Honorable Speaker, it is known that I laid on table the rota for all ministries, departments, and agencies of government. I wish you could give me some few minutes to read under office of the President, who is meant to be in Parliament today.
Okay.
Thank you.
Attorney General, on the issue of Governor.
Right, Honorable Speaker, yes, as we all know, no governor has been appointed at this point, but for me, it is wrong to say that the deputy governor cannot perform this function. Now, the question of how long it will take.
The Bank of Uganda Act does not specify how long one can act.
I beg you.
And in the absence, the Bank of Uganda Act says in the absence of governor, the deputy will be in charge. And honorable members, you leave the man to act.
Embeera bwekyo bweri mu Paalamenti y'eggwanga Uganda. Omuliro mungi kuttemu egenda mu maaso, lwaki abantu battibwa, nga tufuna alipoota nga tumanyi abantu batta abantu. Zo kamera omusimbi omuyitirivu ogwateekebwamu guliwa, lwaki tezikola, lwaki tezituwa results, n'eddwaliro ly'e Lubowa lwaki terigenda mu maaso, lwaki abantu tebakkirizibwa kugendayo, kizibu ki ekiri awo, ensimbi emisibirizo n'omusolo eziweebwa lwaki tebakkiriza zibeere inspected, lwaki tebakkiriza zirondoolwe kyeziri mu kukola, ani alya ssente z'eddwaliro ly'e Lubowa, lwaki terizimbibwa, ye pineti yaani oyo alemesa abaka ba Paalamenti okugenda okuzuula ekituufu ekigenda mu maaso mu ddwaliro eryo, lizimbibwa terizimbibwa, ki kye tulina okukola era ki kye tulina okutambulirako, awo nno wetuli era wetulina okwebuuza ebibuuzo ebingi. Kale embeera bwetyo bweri mu Paalamenti ya bunkenke, yakazigizigi, yakanyolagano wannawali, naye nga naffe tulina okwebereramu bannayuganda ku bintu ebimu lwetujja okutereeza ensi yaffe. Owulidde buli ayimuko okwogera yeebaza bamwanayinki abawaddewo obudde bwabwe, abamize ppini ne bagamba tinofafagana ne baana abasajja nti mwakoze ekyamuwendo, mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala. Naye ate nakino ekikuwonebwamu nti kino kiyinza okuba ekipange okugamba mbu bamwanayinki naye nga waliwo wadde abapanga awo okutta abantu.